Thanks for tuning in to the Marvel Movie Minute.
Want to skip those pesky ads and get early access?
Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a weekly podcast where we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 5-minute segments and examine them in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Craft and Chaos podcast.
I'm Pete Wright, and I'm also from there and the internet.
A bird's wings get clipped, and Steve gets bucked in the A as we examine 1 through 6 of 110 of Captain America, the Winter Soldier from 2014, directed by the Russo brothers. We pick up where we left off with the Winter Soldier performing some Quinjet jacking.
He looks cool, too. He just looks like he loves it.
This is the absolute prime time Winter Soldier-ing. Like when he is just, he's not showboating. He just basically everything is just straight, direct. Like, what is the most efficient way to do this? I'll shoot the guy through the cockpit and I'll rip the thing off and then throw his body out, jump in and take his jet. Of course.
Yep, of course, that's what you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I would do.
Sure.
All right. So we're in the middle of Pierce's attempted maneuver.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, which we keep having coming back to the same question. Do you think he really means this? Or is like he literally just stalling for time? Like, does he really think he could, at this point, after having tried to kill, that he could flip Nick Fury?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, this 5 minutes, you just jumped right to it. I
thought you jumped right to it.
No, I didn't say anything about Fury. This was a secret. We were holding the secret.
It's the fall that's going to kill us.
Oh my God. This is the return of the king. 5 minutes right here, right?
Yes.
And they try to set it up as a very impactful moment. Don't worry, help is coming, or
company's coming.
What does Natasha say? Don't worry, company's coming. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the helicopter lands, and it's Nick, and he's wearing the leathers again. Right? That's pretty great.
And a matching sling, too.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty great. Were you relieved that this is, I think, the complicated set of minutes because we know Fury was alive, but now Fury's back in the game. Does this mean Fury is back in control? Daddy's home kind of a moment?
Yeah, it does seem like that. I know it happens in that minute. Like it literally is 1 minute of screen time. And then I love, this is like when you hire a Robert Redford, you get a Robert Redford. He says, "Did you get my flowers?"
Yeah. So good.
But it does seem like a big buildup for something we already knew.
Yeah.
Like we know who's in the helicopter. He doesn't, but it's a lot of production for we know we saw Nick not 10 minutes ago.
So my question is, does that work? Because we now have to be surprised that Alexander Pierce gets to be surprised, right?
Yeah.
That reveal has to be emotionally resonant. And I don't remember if it was for me, right? It's that schadenfreude that Pierce is now a jerk. Am I going to get that sense of glee when he sees Fury for the first time? And I think Robert Redford is so cool that I'm not sure. I'm not sure it really sways him that Fury's back.
As you are a film aficionado and you've seen many, many, many movies.
I've seen movies, yeah.
Doesn't this feel like this would be a surprise for us? Like it's structured in a way that Nick shows up and we're like, what? And then cut to, and then they go back and show us him and them setting up the plan. Like it's almost built like we wouldn't know this, and then they go back and Ocean's 11 style show us the missing piece that we didn't know, and then we come back to it. This would be a terrible time for it, which is I'm sure why they didn't do it. But do you think there's some version of it where that is what this was?
I was wondering if there was ever any sense that could be a thing. The problem is we lose some really powerful moments where, for example, the last time we talked about Fury, I think it was the conversation around, I guess you're in charge now, Cap, right?
Yeah.
Like that was which is the more powerful moment? The king is dead or long live the king? And in this case, I think it functions well enough to move us on, especially because the power move is not just the return here. The power move is you got to keep both eyes open.
Yeah. So when they get to the moment, in order to actually fully unlock the files, you need 2 alpha level members. And as far as we know, there are only 2 alpha member levels, and that's what Nick is. So this was part of Cap's plan.
Yeah.
Is once Natasha had, I guess, secured the landing site, because the helicopter's going to be right outside. That's Pierce's personal landing pad, because I mean, it literally has a door going right to his office, or at least geography of the just kind of is a little bit shaky. We have to think that his office is on the same level as the virtual meeting room,
or my understanding was his office is the virtual meeting room. All those columns of glass go down into the floor.
Yeah, we see it when he's trying to sort of sway Nick the first time. We see him sort of with the traditional sort of office. Is that like the other side? Is that
I thought that was all the same facility, the same sort of administrative suite.
Okay, so that would make this like the director personal helipad.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you got the helicopter, but there's these things are not supposed to ask.
No.
So then we have him bringing back up Bogota. So like this is remembering like this is that was the moment that changed it. Which this is what's so the thing about Pierce. He's so slippery that. Was that really the moment that he decided, or is he specifically bringing that because he know it will trigger Nick?
Yeah.
And it's because obviously if Pierce is at sort of a corruption level of 10, Nick is in the high 8. He's pushing towards 9. So I think Pierce only sees he needs to just push him just a little bit farther because he's done some shady stuff all along.
Do you think that this is a tough dance between these two guys because they're both slippery. And I think when Pierce is trying to make the case, our enemies are your enemies, Nick, disorder, war, it's just a matter of time before a dirty bomb goes off in Moscow or EMP fries Chicago. You know where I learned it? I learned that in Bogota. You didn't ask. You just did what had to be done. And he's already said, because you were the best and you're the most ruthless person I ever met.
Yeah. Which Nick does not seem to disagree with.
He doesn't disagree. He's unswayed. Hey, yeah. I'm standing right here. Like there's none of that. And I find that actually, I find it fascinating because it just seems like both of these guys are so on mission that we don't even get to see them be swayed by each other's daggers. And I don't know if that's better or worse for the scene. Probably better. I certainly don't get a sense that Pierce is swayed when Fury lifts up his eye patch and you see the damaged eye. It's supposed to be a horror moment. It hits us in the audience as I'd like to say a horror moment. Pierce, did he already know what was under there? Did he already know what was coming? We don't really get. He holds his cards pretty close to his chest.
Yeah, we know that Coulson knew.
Coulson knew.
We don't know how close, if they were close enough that Nick would ever have like the patch off when they were hanging out. I mean, I don't know how. Is there a My Dinner with Andre with Nick and Alexander? Is there like do they go out and like have these out in the town? They're at Sardi's just like cutting it up.
Let me just show you what happened with that one thing that we all thought was a cat.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is one of those things where you put two characters who are so OP on the emotional agent side that you almost miss something in the performance side. Like I almost wonder if we needed to see more vulnerability in one of them to show the one-upmanship. They're both so good.
Because in a sort of traditional in this was a traditional Hollywood sort of, I don't know, Transformers-esque sort of blockbuster, as opposed to kind of this Cold War Marvel variant.
Yeah.
Nick would be trying to bring Alexander back. Like there's this whole thing. And I was reading a whole article about the redemption arc and how people they keep doing it. They keep misunderstanding it. And Nick doesn't try to get Alexander to be like, hey, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like there's no move. There's no card. Not even a glimmer of like, maybe take a step back from the edge, Alexander, with our history and stuff too. Like maybe this is Nick has already drawn the line by the time he arrives.
Well,
I mean, obviously being attempted murder, like that can,
that's ways a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me ask you though, because Pierce's argument is not a Hydra argument, right? It's an ideological argument. It's a political argument. It is, we're going to be militaristic because we're going to bring peace to the lives of 7 billion people by sacrificing 20 million. At no point does he address power. Hydra's is an argument of power. This is not that. So if anything, you might expect Fury to come in and hear that whole thing and say, look, man, we need to be able to talk about this like grown-ups. What you're doing is you're accumulating this sort of mass of power, but it doesn't even sound like you want to use it for that reason. Like there's got to be another means to securing peace for all time. And so I don't know. I mean, it goes back to that. Is Pierce the Hydra leader through and through at this point? Or is he still just,
or is he just like
a means to an end guy?
Face?
Yeah.
Because he tries to reduce it down to math. He says, I can bring order to the lives of 7 billion people by sacrificing 20 million.
Yeah.
Which is like, we're going to hear another interesting calculation like that later on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but with a much different percentage.
The numbers are off. Yeah.
The
numbers are off.
But yeah, that's he tries to do. But that's when we see Nick then real eyepatch to the thing and say, you need to keep both eyes open.
Yeah.
Which I love the fact. The next thing we see is that we see Hill in the control room as she's calling out commands and giving a status update to everybody out there. And as she's talking to the guys, pauses, looks in one of her security monitors, sees there are both eyes open, two agents, probably strike agents, about to come and kill her. She rolls back in her chair as they burst down the door. She fires twice, boom, boom, headshots on both of them, rolls back the thing, and continues her conversation. Maria Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
6 minutes.
Yes.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. And she doesn't even mention, not even just hang on. She just continues, everyone else that she's talking to has no idea what just happened. Could not be more calm, cool, and collected. Kobe Smulders. Let's go. I mean,
how much do you think Hill was? Oh man, this is such a loaded question. Do you think the character of Maria Hill has been done right or dirty by the MCU?
Oh, I think she was done great. I mean, obviously she's always in Fury's shadow, and that's fine. I mean, we have seen her on her own a couple times, and we've also seen her, as a Skrull, I guess. But she was kind of put in. I think Brian Michael Bendis created her and was sort of wanted his own, Nick Fury, when Nick Fury was sort of off the board. And so she kind of became that morally gray thing, but then has since then got a lot of popularity and stuff too, and has gotten a lot of stuff. So she hasn't gotten her hands as dirty as she does in the 616, as she does in this one. So I think having her as the primo agent, I think is great. I think it's kind of sad that she never really got her own spinoff. I think that we could have had an very interesting thing that because she's not Natasha, she's not Nick.
She's also not Agent Carter.
Yeah, she's not Agent Carter either. There's a very interesting thing that could have been done with her, and even what they kind of did with Sharon Carter and the power broker stuff that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that would have been really interesting with Hill as sort of Leo, because they're both powerful, smart, covert women as opposed to like superheroes and then a person.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sort of what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tried to do time and again, is like, how do regular people compete with this? And they never really got to. So yeah, I'm hoping that she'll pull a Nick Fury at some point and there'll be a dramatic reveal. But, we'll have to ask Victor Von Doom if that's going to be in the cards.
Because right now it's R.I.P. and that is a very sad state of things. I'm glad you said those words, because you and I have not talked about the fact that as we record this, yesterday the trailer for Avengers Doomsday dropped. I didn't see Maria Hill in that trailer, and there were a lot of faces.
Yes, and there are a lot of people who we know are in that movie who were not in that trailer as well, and a lot of people we suspect in that too. So yeah, sort of in the moment of the week of that coming out, it was kind of a nothing burger.
It was a nothing burger.
It was a combination of basically the sort of the teasers that we had seen before, and then a couple of things that were new and surprising. But I would say a couple I can think of, two. So who knows when you're listening to this? Maybe it's the movie's come out and everyone loves it, but at this point, they still have a long way to go to sort of get my trust back after the last couple of things that they have asked me to trust them on and then have done me dirty.
It's the visual effects parade that is the equivalent of the talent chair reveal that they did a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
that's I feel like what we got. If you are big into the Thor MCU lore, it's kind of it's a fun parade. That's
I guess so.
What we get more of in this trailer than anything else really is.
Yeah, but
Hemsworth.
the fact that the most exciting thing to me in that trailer was the fact that Shang-Chi and Gambit have a fight. I was like, oh, and that was the only time in the whole trailer I was like, oh, and like, oh, all right. And the rest of it was just kind of like, oh yeah, this is kind of how I thought this would.
They really showcase Gambit stuff in the trailer. Yeah. That was fun, right? We've needed a Gambit for ever, and here it's amazing that it's the Avengers movie where we get something of some significance.
Yeah, I know that. I mean,
anyway,
honestly, of all of the sort of returning people, the one I'm most excited about is Nightcrawler. Like, we're actually Alan Cumming coming back as Nightcrawler is something I would never have put on the bingo card for what Doomsday would be. And I hope that he doesn't get immediately killed.
I know.
After all that to bring him back to like immediately, I hope that's not how it happens. But still
there are
a great
lot
character
of people in that movie are going to get two lines.
A lot of people. Yes, there's a lot of people in that movie.
Okay.
So anyway,
right. Well, that was a complete digression. But here we are back to this one, and now there's just a lot of fighting stuff that happens.
We're full on into the superhero-y part of it too. It is nice that Cap has to basically throw himself off of the building, and then Falcon gets to do what the wings were built for, which is air rescue. Like he literally I'm like, oh, this is what they did. He finally gets to do the thing that they were made for, and goes up and then throws Cap down and says, "You're heavier than you look," which is this is what I love about that. Like Marcus McFeely and stuff too, is that they know when to put that like, in this heavy tense thing, and witch soldiers out there and people are dying and stuff too. Just a little bit of levity, just to like go. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. We have let's see, that's just when then Winter Soldier then makes it. So we first have the Winter Shove. So he comes flying out of nowhere and knocks Cap off of the side, even though Falcon had just put him back there. But no, he knocks him off the thing. And then when Falcon then goes to do the same thing he just did again, that's when we see Bucky has this little handheld grapple launcher.
Seems like something that Natasha would have, one might think.
Yeah, it totally fits it almost exactly the kind of thing that she used under the bridge in that fight. And it launches through the wing of one of Falcon's wing, and then he yanks it back down onto the ground and then rips the wing off.
And this is the reminder that Falcon's wings are not yet Wakandan.
Yeah.
These are U.S. military contractor wings.
We were talking about in the last one that they're sort of just like that. They have the handles and they're sort of more glidery. They don't become able to like slice through people and things until much later on. I kind of like this is the more threadbare. This is a guy with a metal disc and a guy with glider wings and a guy with a metal arm. That's kind of what it is. There's no big cosmic. You don't have to really buy into it. You just have to like accept it's just a little bit more advanced than what we have now.
Just a little bit, but what their entire motivation at this point, as we have talked about before, is they are replacing the targeting cards, blades in each of the helicarriers, and that is a stupidly benign tech support run, and they make a giant, epic battle out of it. I like that.
Yeah, and this is down to I think this is Charlie, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the third and last one. So then after Falcon gets de-winged, and we find out that the chute also has a parachute, which I was like, oh, hey.
Useful.
What? Yeah, exactly. As opposed to, just in case the brand new technology that you just created of this somehow controlled wingsuit, something goes terribly, terribly wrong, you still have a parachute in it. But that means that he has landed back on the Triskelion and cannot get back up to the thing without, probably before in the time frame, even if he figured out like where is Pierce's helicarrier? Could he get the helicopter and fly it up? It wouldn't have. So he knows that he's out of that fight, and it's all on Cap. But luckily, we see then that Cap has managed to hang on and is near the engines, which has got to be hot as hell, and then is crawling up the side and then gets into the sort of the big open glass server room that we'd seen before, which, we as we had talked about, not the most secure place to have the brain of your thing.
What's going on?
Yeah, I remember.
It's great, production design armor. Like it just looks cool. It's a great place for a fight. Sort of it's threatening.
Greenhouse.
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends who was an engineer. When we were watching Star Trek, he's like, I don't understand why they have the bridge on the top of the ship. Like, it seems like why wouldn't everyone just aim their photon torpedoes right at that point? Like, you have it secure. That's why the battle bridge in the Enterprise D, because it's surrounded by all the stuff. You can't just take out their command in one hit. I think of that this way, too, of if you had a strong enough missile and you fired it straight up, you probably could do the same job as they're trying to do with the server blade thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they destroyed one of these, wouldn't that also break the connection?
Just take out the little post with all the wires in it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got an indestructible shield. It feels like you could just,
throw it real hard.
Percussive maintenance, right? But I don't know. But maybe that was alluded to in sort of their discussion of it has to be all three connected, or else the two will.
Maria Hill can't take control of all three of them together and aim all their guns at each other, right? That's ultimately
that's true. That is the plan.
The plan.
We'll see later on.
Yeah.
But so then when we have sort of the actions then shifting into so now we know that Rumloader then gets activated. He finds out that the council has been compromised, and so Black Widow is there. And so that's all he needs here, and he's headed that way. And that means then that Falcon is also headed that way, and that leaves them like a battle scene to be had there, the B story of the action scene. And then we come down to it. Cap lands on the thing, and in very Star Wars Vader versus Luke moment, at the other end of the long platform, there's the Winter Soldier. And so now it's Steve and Bucky, old pals, facing off again, and Cap still trying to reach out to his old friend, and Winter Soldier is giving him nothing.
People are gonna die, Buck. I can't let that happen. Please don't make me do this. Oh, there's both just sort of you can hear the broken heart in the performance, and the ego, right? Like, please don't let me do this.
Like, I'm obviously going to win.
Right.
So don't make me beat the crap out of you.
In spite of the fact that we've seen a number of times when the Winter Soldier has your number, man. Like, this is
he's taken the shield from you twice.
It's
in like 2 days.
This is not going to be easy. Yeah. I love the setup. I love it so much. And we get the first blows. And then our minute ends.
And we see just a little bit of sort of the fight that we'll be talking about in the next episode. That Winter Soldier has already learned some stuff too, because as Cap runs in and is blocking stuff, Winter Soldier pulls out 2 pistols and fires one high, which the shield blocks, and one low, and it goes past it goes under the shield and hits Cap in the side, which is like, he's already like, even though he's been wiped, he still remembers enough like how to fight this person.
Yeah. Very much
so
look up here kind of a move. Yeah. It works. It plays.
Yeah. And so then it's this is football. Like, he's got to get down the field and get across the goal line. And that's the extent of the knowledge I have of football terms.
You did great, though. If we cut it right there, no one will ever know.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate. That is where the minute comes to an end. Is in the middle of that, the two of them in mid clash before this battle, a friend versus friend. What will happen? Well, you probably know, but be back here though. We're going to talk about it, in the next minute. In the meantime, while they're waiting patiently for that next episode to come out, is there anything out there that we should do? Is there any, like, if they hear this episode on the regular feed and they're like, man, I want to hear the next episode right now, like maybe even before the regular feed. Is there a way?
Hold on. We have a listener comment.
A listener comment.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. So you gotta, and it's going to be mostly for you because I haven't read this yet. Steve Rogers, hi Steve, in our Discord server in Avengers Tower posted. Well, there's been kind of an ongoing conversation there, but he did say, I just downloaded the audiobook of that MCU book on Audible, the one you mentioned last time. And Steve's comment was, came out in 2023. Little surprised they didn't want the project to coincide with either Endgame back in 2019 or all the way to Doomsday later this year. I assume the final Guardians is the last movie production they cover, with Loki and Secret Invasion being the most recent completed series discussed. Have you read the whole book?
I have read the whole book.
How does it line up with the production? Does anything seem amiss given the flurry of production in that era?
They only had access for them, and then they had to sort of stop and then write the book. So that's approximately, from what I remember, that's approximately where it is. So they don't get into a lot of the MCU TV kind of times. They sort of get, it's more theatrical based, so they don't get all the way into Secret Invasion, that sort of stuff. But I was kind of amazed that it's not official Marvel thing, but it had to go through approval. So there's, I wouldn't say dirty laundry, but I would say besmirched laundry in this that I'm kind of surprised that they sort of let out. Now, once again, I'm not trying to drum up support because it's so salacious, but I was really kind of amazed at how open they were about how messy things were in phase 1 and phase 2. Like, they are very candid about, like, we did not know what we were doing, which I found really interesting.
Yeah,
because even you talk to even the Lost guys were like, no, we had a plan. It's like,
we knew how it ended.
My dudes,
yeah,
right. Like, I love you, but I mean, so to actually have them put out a lot and to even expose a little bit, like, oh, this this plot happened or this character showed up because of, and it was like a political reason, or it was a financial reason, or it was to please some particular region. Like, there's all that kind of stuff that you sort of don't think about. You think about, like, a bunch of people in the room coming up with, oh, this is the best story. But there's a lot of, like, other factors that go along to it.
Yeah.
even just in terms of availability and money and stuff too. Like, why is Jeremy Renner on this movie? Well, financial is a big thing. Like, why bring in like a major Avenger for essentially one scene? It's financially, it's better that you don't.
Yeah.
But how do you do that without compromising the story? So it's, it's a little bit of the inside baseball part of it. But yeah, I do recommend it. I mean, like I said, it's probably the most definitive we're going to get about this in this era. Like, maybe in 20 years when everybody is sort of past it, we'll learn a lot more of like the dark and dirty secrets. But, just seeing a little bit of the chicken wire and balsa wood of what we think of as being rock solid walls, it was interesting.
That is interesting. You teased us last week with the it seems like they really knew what they were doing to tie into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And no, they did not.
No. Yeah.
Everything feels fragile.
When we did Iron Man 3, like there's a whole chapter in Iron Man 3 that barely talks about the actual movie itself, but gives a whole different perspective on how it came together, which was fascinating. And the same thing, that it was a constant frustration of all the TV people that everything went downstream, nothing went upstream. Yeah. They would put it like, hey, we're going to do this thing. And they would, crickets, no response. Hey, we're going to introduce the Kree. Nope. They never heard anything. Yeah.
So it's nice to be making a movie about the quintessential team.
Right?
Do I need to finish? All right. Yes, head to MarvelMovieMinute.com.
It's a very good audiobook as well. So if you're more of an audiobook fan, they have a very good audiobook of it.
Awesome. Head to MarvelMovieMinute.com. That's where you can find out all the information about supporting the show, about becoming a supporter and getting early access to all the episodes, week early access, joining us for live streams. It's really great to have you be a part of this network. And of course, you could join Steve Rogers in the Avengers Tower in the Discord server. You could be
you too could get a long rambling answer to a basic question.
You could.
I mean,
you could.
This is your moment.
That's what I mean. You want to know peak Kyle Olson, you get it. When you ask a tiny question, you get a Kyle Olson trademark answer. That's what you get.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. 3 divergences. Will they all come back together? Probably not.
Probably not. All right. Hey, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Kyle, do you have anything right now you want to make sure that people know about?
I want to know that people are aware that Onset is available at Amazon.
That's my thing.
It is. Oh, that's your thing?
Dang it,
okay. Well, see, I thought as a fan, I was just trying to tell about an author that I really like, and they have a new book out, and people should go and find it.
You're a good egg, Kyle Olson. Long-winded, but a good egg.
I mean, if you are in the high school drama departments, and looking to put out your season, I think we'll probably pass that point by the time you're listening to this. But Geitelman and Good are the publishers of my play Answer Key. They have not only that play, but a lot of other ones that are aimed at teenagers and high schools, but they also work with a lot of independent theaters as well. Their prices are a lot better than that Samuel French guy. So they are the young upstart. So support indie theater, support indie publishers, support indie authors, support indies. That's what it comes down to.
Love it. And yes, Onset is out. That's my first full-length novel of YA crossover thriller fiction. And I'd love it if you check it out. Onset, book 1 of the Manifest trilogy. It's there. It's ready to be purchased.
As always, if you want to just make mine Marvel, then this is the place to be. As we finish up Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and then obviously occasionally other stuff comes in. Will we end up talking about Spider-Man in a couple weeks? I think it's probably inevitable, as there, a new Spider-Man movie's coming out with the name of one of the worst Spider-Man stories of all time. So will they be able to pull that out? I don't know, but
it doesn't matter, Kyle. I'm in the bag.
It doesn't matter. I already bought my ticket.
Yes.
So we'll be there. So
yes,
we're glad you're here. We'll be there, be at the place where we all are, and we'll talk more Marvel stuff. I think enough said.